Hello everyone and welcome back once again to Gary Grigsby's War in the East. Let's continue. I do believe we have only Armor Group Center left here. Ain't too much I can do, but I do want to get the 102nd out. Let's get them into Staritsa. Let's see, so I want to get the 35th out, or at least try. 15th in here. And I can get 5th Panzer into Staritsa 2. These are under the 20th. Let's put them just under 16th Army. Same for these. Actually, I think I'll pull out 5th Panzer entirely. I'll see where I'm going to put them. Where did they historically go anyway? 1942. Reserve. Anyway, it means that 383rd should be 20th Corps. Where did they go either way? Vornash. Okay, well, you're going up now. I'll try to get the 35th out too, but there's just no way that's going to happen at this stage. So they'll probably continue to try and attack there, but I need to get these forces out regardless. So there's that. How are we doing here? 5th Corps. Only 6,000 men. That's really bad. But maybe these guys will get a little bit more. Not a whole lot to be done about it now. These guys also need to get out a bit faster. So you're 29, so 16th Army has too much. 11, 7, 9, 13. So I also need to clean house a little bit here. Okay, well, first of all, I'm gonna get the 258th out. There's still too much snow, which does make it a bit hard to get out either way. Let's get them into Kaluga. 53, eh? But I don't think that the 161st is going to do that well fending for itself. So I don't think I'm going to pull out the Netherlands division there. 7th Flieger is at 55, doing a lot worse like this, but what's its max TOE? 10,000 men. Thing is, let's withdraw the French, this French unit. And the Lair Motorized Brigade can stay there for a bit. Um, 18th Motorized is 54, 34, and let's get 12th Panzer out. Can I send them to Zukinishki? I will. Then at that point I could... many of these are still relatively weak, and these ones especially so. Let's see what we got. Neither of these are doing well by any stretch of the imagination. $7,000, $8,000, $3,000. So there's not much to be done there either. Do I have any infantry coming that particular direction? I don't even think I do. Or it doesn't look like it. I do have the 385th Infantry Division. I'll send it up to Vyazma. But the rest of this line will have to deal with it. I could send you in there and try to get a bit of a switch up. Because I don't feel like Morzhaisk is going to hold any other way. And then I'll have to keep 6th Panzer there too. These guys will have to continue to refit, obviously. 7th Panzer also doesn't deserve these for the moment. I should have kept the support unit. We'll see. They're actually at 3, which is pretty interesting. I guess it's because they have 100 worth of that. But at any rate, this motorized corps has all these units except for Lair. And Lair is 1. So that's the 14th. How about now? So you have 6. This is the 47th. And I can probably get you into the 47th here. Taking away that flag regiment gets them to 1 strength. So let's have them keep the flag regiment for the moment. Let's see, 39th. So I'll put all of these on the 39th. And with that you have 6 and you're at 10. And it's a 30. Ah, crud. If I have no relief, I can't really remove them. Problematic indeed. You do have somewhat less now, so now I could put you under the 57th Corps. Or motorized corps even though they have only regular infantry. 3 more. 57th. 57th. Okay, so that's it. They're full now. 16th Army can take 1 more at this stage. They don't need to, but I just don't want them to be overburdened. Interesting that there is 1 unit here that isn't part of the 10th, whereas I think they should be, because now this is the 10th, this should be 20th, there we go. There we go. Right. It ain't no beauty contest. But I would have to manage 34th Infantry. Sweet. There we go. I'm not so sure about this attack. That looks weird. This is the 27th. Let's change it up. 27th. Bam. What unit do I have here? 7th. So let's put you under the 7th. Let's get rid of those pioneers here. There we go. They could still take one more unit, but there is no need to at this stage. Alright, good. That takes care of that. Next up, this mess. This is Second Army. This is the 6th Corps. And you oh, I already switched them up. Okay. Why they are not on the line? 34. I guess it makes sense in that case. They're also already switched. How is 4th Army doing? They can take one more unit under current conditions. That's okay. What a mess. 13th. There's that, and then we have these, the 9th, which should start from here. Where's the 13th Corps anyway? Oh, it's here. I would think that the 41st motorized should take those. So now all of those are packed. And what I need to do here, They can take 6 more, but that's not necessarily what I'm after. The 48th. Because I'm gonna need another core there. And then I have one extra somewhere. Maybe even... Yeah, but that's a motorized core. Well, these guys have to refit for now anyway. But the thing is... Alright, there we go. They, at that point, also kind of just need to move out and recover. At least the line is a bit more steady right now. Not that it means that I can suddenly just go and attack left and right. But... okay. There are... quite a few units that need to refit there. They most likely will not all make it, but there is no other way to do it really at the moment. I guess for the rest of it I'll just have to let it go at this point. Not much else to do about it, I think, now that we have the rest of the line going up. No, so let's just ship it back to the AI for whatever it's worth. Just taking a look at any potential additional units down there, but that's definitely not going on. Yeah. There are a few depots that I also want to build along the rail here. Because I think that's quite necessary. Yeah. Heavy woods, I. All right. There is the 23rd Panzer Division. Just get them off of the train. They should be in reasonable condition. Whoops, not great. Yeah, most of these are damaged. I guess it's just from railing there. That's quite interesting. The fact that they got damage from the rail, I have to say that sure is interesting. Either way, oh, what's that? Let's zoom in a bit. If that's rain, that wasn't predicted. But again, cannot zoom in while the logistics are running, so. There's that. Zoom in, please. This is not gonna be gonna be any zooming in here. I do remember that. That's just a big problem. What? Just a little bit more. Yeah, they have heavy rain there, and that is probably immediately turning everything into mud, but we'll see. I cannot imagine the snow remaining frozen quite badly. But the heavy rain also... Wow, okay. Guess they're trying to bomb. They lost almost everything from air combat. So it's good that I have my fighters back. But I definitely wanted to start with that indeed. And so far, at least for this turn, that is working out rather well. But whenever there's heavy rain, there's no fighting to be had, at least in that area. And that means that I'll also be able to recuperate those units that are not doing that well, because there's just no way you can attack through that. But that's only the upmost north still. But we'll see. They would be inclined to attack up north first. That's what they always do every single turn. And they did not do that this time. At all there. They started down here immediately. Yeah. Surprised they were able to get in there. Down to 1A. It's a shame the game won't allow me to zoom in even when I pause it. I'm surprised I held there too. But there are various areas where this is getting very tight. The interesting thing is that I think given the current situation, the river should be back pretty soon. It might already be back next turn, given the current weather conditions. I do think my forces there are holding rather well. I'm gonna take a look at how frozen that will be. I mean, the weather always changes on the Soviet turn, so the weather will not be different for me. So it might be that it's still rather frozen out there. Again, Torjok, but I don't see that city fall anytime soon. I might have pulled some forces away from there, which would allow me to push back in there. Oh. Yeah, I also pulled from there. That's not pleasing, but hopefully they would attack down there. No, they went up there, huh? There are several areas where I pulled from the line in order to fix up a few more units. But in hindsight, it might have been better just to keep those weakened units there, but the biggest problem is not even that they break the line, the biggest problem is that they move their units into the line. And then I have a very hard time getting them out, obviously, at that point. Especially if mud season is gonna come, but we'll have to see. Next turn will be March 29th, so we're still working with the rail penalties that the Germans get up until 1st of April. So that's kind of sucky. They're not going to be able to do that a second time. It's not that problematic. They took that one hex if the rest of that line does hold. It is across the river after all. Let's actually see how the weather is. Can I see that here? I can't. Yeah, okay. That there is not so much a problem either, given that I attacked as well. I don't know what purpose this serves. Okay. Ideally, they'll not expand on that. I mean, I don't. There probably would not have been any air forces there, so I would put them in Kaluga. But I'd prefer not to lose Kaluga to the Russians here. In that sense, I think Kaluga is much like Mozhaisk and Marioslavets and the other one that we already lost. The thing is, I feel like the Russians are pretty weak at the center, but I don't have the mobile units to muster up for an encirclement here. Which is rather unfortunate. But one interesting thing potentially would be to try and get from Orel into Chula, because then Chula is 16 points. That would get me all the way up to 719. At 719... yeah, I still would need to take two other places. Since they're giving me 16 points, so that's just there's like Chula, Fornash, and one other thing. I would still have to move to Krasnodar or something similar. Although currently I don't even have Chula yet, of course. So it doesn't count either way. It's probably a great idea to attack that level 3 fortress instead of the level 0. I don't mind. Wow, okay. It wouldn't surprise me if they were to give it some point. But that's barely held. They are quite feisty on the Romanians, but they're still doing a pretty decent job. I mean, given the fort levels, it's not that surprising, but I really do wonder, though, why this Soviet front attacks are so much different. Like, they're in a different AI turn than the earlier ones, which were down here. So it's like there are multiple AI turns, but they're generally all over the place. It's just kind of weird. I would think that per front, like this is one front and this is one front, they would make the attacks, but that's not the case. Like, they have Soviet front attacks, but then they attack over different fronts, and it's not, the AI turn does not go for front. And just do everything all over the place. I don't know. It's not necessarily bad or anything. It's just kind of weird how that works. Like, you would expect it to have an AI turn per front or something, and each individual front is checking what it would kind of want to target. Like, they would have whatever southwestern front trying to push its way towards Rostov and Stalino or something along those lines. And then they would have a Bryansk front, Western front, whatever, that would try to push towards those objectives. But it seems to do everything in between. It's just kind of weird for a little bit. Well, that's fine. Seems like I'm through though, as we're in the building frontline phase. Here there's 99, bam. And they'll start resupplying through the air. I don't see myself fighting back all that much against that for the moment. I have to see how it goes. This is indicative of mud, but since the logistics phase takes half an hour. Whoops. I wonder, from city to pool, pool to city, how that kind of works. It's as if it goes from city to pool, how they are, you know, switching things up there. But the supply system in this game is exceptionally complex, and I cannot even begin to fathom, understand, etc. I'm very surprised by that rain there, though, because it's a heavy mud, yeah. Anyway, there is a tit for tat. On March 28th, 1942, the RAF sends a raid against the city of Lubeck in northern Germany. The attack creates a firestorm that destroys over 80% of the city's historic medieval center. 3 of the center's main churches and a large part of the built-up area are destroyed. Adolf Hitler is enraged by this and orders the Luftwaffe to respond with equivalent retaliation. In late April through the end of May, the Luftwaffe conducts the Baedeker Blitz, a series of raids on popular tourist and historic British sites. The aim is to begin a tit-for-tat exchange with the hope of forcing the RAF to reduce their actions. The name of these raids comes from a comment made at the time by a spokesman for the German Foreign Office. We shall go out and bomb every building in Britain marked with 3 stars in the Baedeker Guide. The attempt is an abject failure. Due to the RAF's improved night fighter and radar capabilities, the Luftwaffe suffers unsustainable losses from minimal damage to the targeted cities. Nevertheless, the raids result in over 1,600 civilian deaths and damage to tens of thousands of homes. Yeah, so we are dealing with nasty weather, but it seems like I can move up here, potentially even take Sjastroy if they don't have any units in there. Obviously I can't attack this now, it's pretty much a stalemate at that. Weather on the ground, in the air, heavy rain. Next turn, nothing. That indeed probably keeps it at just snow. But the dominating weather table. So we're definitely currently in the cold to rain. And that rain is going to take a while too. Those are still frozen. Right, well, I'm gonna wrap things up. I want to thank you for watching. Do hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please do consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, see you then.